I can't argue with what the committee has done here. Iowa State probably got a little bit of a knock, if you can call it that, because they're so much better at home. Uh, but at the end of the day, whether you're a 2 or a 3, you're poised for a deep, deep NCAA tournament run. I mean, theoretically, all we're talking about is a Sweet 16 game, and the difference between a 2 and a 3 is who wears white and who wears dark. So I'm very, very bullish on the Cyclones.
Joe, you have 9 teams in from the Big 12. Let's take a look at who needs to finish strong to work their way into the tournament.
I think Cincinnati is the closest of the bunch. I have them 4 spots out entering Saturday's play. Big road game later this afternoon at Central Florida. It's a game that could help the Bearcats quite a bit. Can they jump 4 teams in one day? Well, that they need help elsewhere, but certainly UC very much alive. And Kansas State is still in the hunt. They're playing at home against TCU right now, a game concurrent with this one. And, Al Davis of the Raiders, he would have been the perfect bracketologist because his answer to every question would have been, just win, baby.
What about Texas Tech, Joe?
Yeah, I think Texas Tech has shown, that they're a Jekyll and Hyde team. We've seen it this week, and we're seeing it a little bit this afternoon. They're going to make the field, Jess. Probably a lot of volatility in their seed, anywhere from a 7 to a 10, unless they completely collapse and land on the bubble. They strike me as a team that will make it in. I'm not sure, though, how many times I would circle them if I were to, pick a bracket.
Joe, real quick, last thing, the Big 12 obviously changing next year with the addition of some teams coming in. Let's have some fun. Where would they be sitting right now if the Big 12 next year was the Big 12 this year?
We'd be sitting with 2 number 1 seeds then, right? Because Arizona would be joining Houston as number 3 and number 4 overall. And that would give the Big 12 5 of the top 11 teams in the committee's evaluation here a month out. I think next in line, Utah joining the Big 12 next year. They are our very last team in the field at this moment, and I think in some danger, and will probably get eclipsed by someone before Saturday is out, as the Utes are idle. Colorado, one of the teams chasing. And keep an eye, moving up fast on the outside with an 8-game winning streak. Not joining the Big 12 next year, but certainly getting a lot of attention, UCLA. So 3 of the 4 coming in, Arizona, Colorado, Utah, very much in the NCAA picture.
Joe, always great seeing you, hearing your voice. Best of luck over the next few weeks, Mr. Bracketology. Enjoy it.
Thanks, guys.
Joe Lunardi joining us here at halftime in Ames, Iowa State. Right now, entering today, shared in the top spot in the conference with Houston. Those 2 play on Big Monday as the Red Panda entertains to the delight of the sellout at Hilton Coliseum.
At Iowa State, innovation is dynamic. It's collaborative. It's inviting ideas from all corners and working across disciplines. Because we've learned when ideas are shared, we all benefit. Innovate at Iowa State.
Live sports.
Best conference in basketball. There's nothing like this. It's the best league in the world.
So many, it's the best players, the best coaches.
This conference has separated itself for the last decade as the best conference in the country.
Live sports. those mid-range hook shots, jumpers, getting his teammates involved. He has been outstanding over the last couple weeks. There's nothing new under the sun. Robert Jones coming to play and setting the tone.
Texas Tech struggling from the floor, the 10 turnovers. Remember, they had 7 turnovers in the first 10 minutes. Iowa State taking full advantage of those miscues, and then thanks to the efforts of Robert Jones and some of his teammates, the Cyclones dominating in the paint. A big reason for that, the absence of Warren Washington, and what's equally concerning for Grant McCaslin, we saw Tyron Lindsey leave the lineup after rolling an ankle, and we'll see if he's able to go, because I thought Lindsey provided some spark and good minutes off the bench.
He absolutely did. He was fantastic in his limited minutes. They've got their smaller lineup out there. Kerwin Walton, one of the great assassins in our game, has to find a way to get open. The three-point shot going to be critical in this first 4 or 5 minutes to get them back in this game.
Walton did not take a single shot in the first half. He only played 8 minutes. Toussaint trying to set the tone defensively. Gilbert shrugs him off. Momcilovic, who scored 8 in the first half. Trey King goes to work. He left his shot short. Jones the rebound. Second chance opportunity. Gilbert, bingo.
Coach McCaslin can't believe that. You play good defense, you give up the offensive rebound, and then you see our three-point shot rain in on top of you. There he is.
And that's what Walton does. Gets it right back.
He needs to get 7 or 8 attempts off in this half. There aren't too many guys who are automatic from the three-point line, but he's one of them.
Walton making a 17th straight start today. He moved into the starting lineup once Cambridge went down. Playing some of his best basketball. Contact and one. Trey King.
Well, no double comes. This goes right up over the top. Takes the hit. Finishes.
Trey King, one of those players who always talks about the joy of playing in front of this crowd at Hilton Coliseum. One of the more mature players in the Big 12, 24 years old, started his career at Eastern Kentucky. Spent a semester at Georgetown before coming in for TJ Otzelberger. Walton, that one took a trip around, nearly had 2 in a row.
Well, great job by the Red Raiders to get him 2 looks in the first minute and a half of this second half.
Nearly got a hand on it, and getting a hand on it is Williams. It's a run out for Texas Tech. They give it to a trailing Isaacs. Good recovery by Gilbert. Jennings with the left-hand drive, pumps on the brakes. Jones, the rebound.
I know Pops has been struggling with his shot, but I think in that situation on the break, he's got to let that fire.
King, who has 8, has it knocked away for a moment, and now a foul as Isaacs converged along with Williams.
So versatile, Trey King. He had 4 big threes, I believe, against Kansas. He moves the ball. He can post up, play the short corner. I hope he has a PhD by the time he gets out of here. I don't know how many years he's been on campus, but
one of their seasoned veterans. Good anticipation by Isaacs coming around the top to deny the entry.
I talked to Trey King's dad after the Cincinnati game. He played at Drake for Rudy Washington. Had a few battles against him. Just a great guy. His son has fit in perfectly here. With all the intangibles. And you look at Jones and you look at King, courtside. These guys are weight room guys. They are big. They are physical. And you cannot move them off the post.
Throw in a couple of key injuries to the opponent. It's tough chugging for Texas Tech in the paint.
Iowa State, you do not want 24 to even touch the ball. There's the shot you got to make.
Isaacs offline. Out blowing a gasket, but popping right back up was Keyshawn Gilbert. The Cyclones will settle in. Again, entering today, it's Iowa State and Houston atop the Big 12. Texas Tech just a game back. 7 teams, an incredible 17 separated by 2 or fewer games in the conference standings. Lipsey draws attention, opens up a 3. Gilbert with his 3rd trifecta today. You see what's at stake. A critical one here on this early Saturday in Ames, Iowa. Good court vision by Isaacs. Walton, clear vision. Money, he won't miss those.
Well, there's just no excuse for not getting him a look in the first half. They're going to have to continue to come at him. Pin downs, staggers. I don't care if you have to trip a guy who's guarding him. You have to find a way to get number 24 a look.
It's become the Gilbert and Walton show. That one off the front rim. Look at the collision inside. You talk about physical basketball. Both teams shouldering up. King on the wrong end of it, and we get a media timeout. Kerwin Walton with a couple of threes trying to keep Texas Tech within striking distance. Red Raiders still looking at an uphill climb.
The Texas Tech Alumni Association stands stronger than ever before because of the thousands of alumni who are committed to our great university. We began with our first graduating class in 1927, and nearly a century later, we continue to serve Texas Tech through programs, services, and scholarships for all of our loud and proud Red Raiders. We appreciate our loyal alumni for making a difference. If you're not a member, consider being a part of our story into the next century. Belong today. You're one of us.
Old Trapper Beefs, Camping Catap.
Curtis Jones, who had 5 off the bench in the first half, is checked in. Up behind the basket. This is Jones, the Buffalo transfer, and he has a pretty stroke.
Well, the Cyclones do such a good job of floating to the corners. He's on the wing. He knows his teammate's going to kick it back out. He gets deep into the corner, and it's just not fair when the Cyclones are hitting 3-point shots.
That's what gets lost a little bit when you look at Iowa State, the success they have had, and they get the national attention because of the defense, and rightfully so, but very quietly, TJ Otzelberger in this offense really putting up solid numbers. Set inbound play, McMillan peeling off the screen, and Toussaint made sure he found him.
Well, that's the first time in a month you'll see the Cyclones give up an unabated layup. That rarely happens. Great job coming up with the easy basket by the Raiders. But you're right, the Cyclones offense over the last month, 24th in the country. 4 Cyclones averaging 10 points or more. They're very connected, they share the basketball. And that's why Joe Lunardi has them as a 2. And if they keep winning, they're going to end up on the 1 line.
Quiet game for Hassan Ward. McMillan, a one-hand rebound. Texas Tech down 17. Every possession critical. Jennings, who started just his 2nd game of the year for the injured Washington, gets the rebound, stripped as he went back up with it. The quick hands of Lipsey.
Jennings made a mistake. I know momentum was bringing him down, but you've got to keep that ball up. You can't put it down to where Lipsey can get it from you. But what a great pass by Joe Toussaint on this baseline out of bounds. You're paying attention to Walton. He goes right. Toussaint, you get your guy open by looking the other way and then dropping it off to the open receiver like Patrick Mahomes.
Toussaint started 41 games for Iowa beginning his collegiate career. 3-point shot, won't go. Jones misses. Bounce pass up ahead. Isaacs leaves it for Lindsey. Good to see him back in there after rolling an ankle late in the first half. Alley-oop. Ward finishes. Cyclones a chance to grab their largest lead of the day. Gilbert spins his way into a double team. Momcilovic cautiously working his way along the baseline. Tough angled shot won't go. Ward crashing the glass, and the offensive foul on the Iowa State big man.
Ward, another guy who comes in and makes such a huge impact in limited minutes. He guards all 5 positions, but here's the ball straight to top. Check out Lindsey. He's in drop coverage. He gets sucked up because he knows Gilbert can hit that mid-range jumper, and Ward slips behind him. That's textbook pick-and-roll offense. You're right. We don't talk about their offense enough.
Very quietly flying under the radar. Hassan Ward missed some time earlier this year, missed 9 games with an injury, but ever since he's returned, more depth on that front court. Now foul on Iowa State. Gilbert with the hold that happened away from the action, his second. Quick breather for Walton. He checks in. Darian Williams, who played all 20 minutes in the first half, takes a breather. Pavletsky back into the Iowa State lineup. Gilbert will take a seat, leading this offense with 12 points. Backdoor cut. Isaacs open. Jennings found him.
Well, it's 2 times in a row they've been able to do that. The first time Pops was able to get the foul call. Gilbert grabbed him. They called the whistle. They go right back to it. Fantastic job by Jennings. They fake that dribble handoff. Pops reads it, gets back door for another easy basket.
First bucket today for Isaacs. The too easy on the other end for Curtis Jones. Texas Tech not in a position to exchange fire here in this second half, down 19. Tucson, quick, explosive first step, kisses it softly off the glass. Hilton Coliseum, he's familiar with this venue. This is his 4th trip, the first time as a Red Raider.
I don't know what time it is. I don't think the bank is open in Ames. I'm not sure he called that, but you can't trade baskets with the Cyclones right now.
Caslin coaching hard on that Texas Tech sideline. Jones the takeaway. Iowa State wants to run. Lipsy counted it. He's fouled.
Defense, you take it, you turn it into offense. Look at Jones, he's playing point forward. Are you kidding me? Lipsy takes the hit, kisses it off the glass. This place is going crazy.
Texas 8, TCU, the double-digit seed at number 10. Cincinnati right now part of the first 4 out.
Well, that matchup on Monday night, if things hold here and the Cyclones can continue to play well, that steel cage match is going to be must-see TV. It might be one of the most anticipated conference games in the last 5 years. It will be everything that you've ever dreamed of. Rock fight, the physicality, both teams elite, both teams trying to win a national title, obviously trying to win a conference championship. I can't wait for that one.
Big Monday, Houston and Iowa State. Yeah, there were bruises, there were blood, there were scars in that first meeting when Houston visited Hilton Coliseum. That is going to be a lot of fun. Iowa State by 21. Isaacs lost the handle just as he made his move. And it will be a Texas Tech turnover.
And it comes around the corner. I mean, this is what Iowa State does to you, right? No one even touched the ball earlier. That's off of Pops, but he just loses it. It reminds you of the Cincinnati game the other night, the TCU game. They can turn a team over 25 times in a game.
Texas Tech trying to get their first points off turnover today, and they will get the foul, the fight for the rebound underneath. Iowa State, 22 OH points off turnovers. They're crushing Texas Tech in the paint as well. 34-10 edge for Otzelberger.
I talked to Kyle Green before the game. TJ Otzelberger and Kyle dropped the defensive game plan. Kyle's the defensive coordinator. He said, look, we need ball pressure on these guys. Well, they lost a shooter right there. That's inexcusable. And we want to take Texas Tech out of their rhythm. And that's just what they do. This Texas Tech team, they score 76 points per game. They usually play with the rhythm. They're the ones dictating, but the Cyclones have taken them away for the most part. So you do have to find a great shooter.
Oh, look at the recovery and the swat. Jennings airborne. Walton, who has 9 in this second half. Pop Isaacs, one of those days. Loose ball, batted out. Cyclones have the numbers. It's a 4-on-2. Gilbert going downhill, scoops and scores. Jennings on that backdoor cut. Isaacs will get a couple of free throws.
Another turnover leads to a run out. We got 4 Cyclones coming at you. Good position by Robert Jones. Look at him sprint the left side. That keeps Pops paying attention to number 12. That's just good teamwork on the fast break. A lot of credit to Robert Jones for sprinting the court. Made number 2 have to find him, and Gilbert. He's fun to watch.
Isaacs at the foul line. Keyshawn Gilbert with his 14 points, now in the double figures for the 8th time in the last 9 games. Rob Jones exits stage right, as does Lipsy. Ward into the Cyclone lineup. Texas Tech, the best free throw shooting team in the Big 12. Down 18 as we hit the home stretch, inside 10 minutes to go.
Well, they're rolling Ward to the basket, and they're lifting Jones. So Pops Isaacs is the tag man. So he has a decision to make. Am I going to take the roll guy, or am I going to pop out and get Jones? And he's in a precarious situation defensively. You just can't make those kind of passes against the Cyclones.
Back-to-back misses by Momcilovic. Isaacs looking over his options, so crafty with the ball. Look at that pass. Beautiful vision. Just left a gift for Jennings to soft toss at home.
Great decision. Excellent catch. Great finish by Jennings. Let's see if they get this high ball screen with Ward here. Keep your eye on the baseline with Pops. Does he have to lift, or can he stay and take Ward at the rim?
Tech is going to make a run. It needs to start right now. 7 to shoot. Momcilovic comes to the ball, and this will be an offensive foul on Hassan Ward. Went right over the top of Pop Isaacs.
Well, Pop will not stop coming at you. He does not care about the stat sheet. Great job. Beautiful touch around the rim.
He's going to get a quick breather. Hassan Ward has picked up his 4th foul. This will be a real quick break for Isaacs. They're going to need him over the next 8+ if they're to get back into it. Toussaint handling the point.
You need a pin down for Kerwin Walton. He has to at least touch it on this possession.
He gets a touch. Jones collapses on him. This is a tough shot. Stepping back. Curtis Jones doing enough that time on the defensive end. Jones just flattened Toussaint with the screen. Texas Tech, Walton, top of the key. Williams has been quiet this half until now. Darian Williams, and Tech has it within 13.
Fantastic ball movement. The skip pass, it doesn't stick. Good kick out. Great shot.
7-0 run by the Red Raiders on the road. Gilbert puts on the brakes, loses McMillan, but left the shot short. Here comes Williams. Texas Tech a chance to slice it even more, but Rob Jones got a hand in there. Not a lot of room for error as he tried to thread the needle.
Right, why? You've got momentum in this game. You're on the road. They've tried that 5 times in this game. It hasn't worked out 1 time.
Gilbert behind a screen. Connects.
Oh, boy, you got to call a timeout here. What a turn of events. And now a technical foul. It all falls apart for Texas Tech. Had an opportunity to get the momentum back. The turnover, the 3-point shot, the technical foul.
Live sports.
3-point shot and now the technical foul. So a huge turn of events. Dear names.
Well, you look at Texas Tech and their performance against Kansas, holding the Jayhawks to only 50 points. That's the fewest points KU has scored in a road game in the Bill Self era. That's how dialed in McCaslin and the Red Raiders were.
Well, they have a fantastic team. And it's going to be up and down in this league. You can win 3 in a row, you can lose 3 in a row. That's just what you have to expect. But when they get into the big dance, which they're going to, and they get healthy, they're going to be a difficult matchup. They win that first round game, and then to prepare for these guys in 1 day off, it's going to be tough. They're going to bring their big guns. They're going to be able to shoot the ball better. But right now, life on the road, injured, it's almost impossible to win in this league.
There you go. That's one way to get back into it. Robert Jennings gets the basket and the foul. Momcilovic attacking the hoop. Robert Jennings in there for the injured Warren Washington. A little bit of life late for Tech.
Andrea Carter here. And let me tell you something. It's conference season time, which means it's time to get ESPN Plus. That's where you can find your favorite teams and conferences. So get in the game and stream now.
Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price.
You want the lowest price. Did you say lowest or Lowe's price? It's basically the same thing.
If you find a better price,
What's named Mr. Irrelevant. And we all know the story from there. And then he had the collision with Patrick Mahomes last Sunday. The record setter for Texas Tech led the NCAA in passing yards, the 3-time Super Bowl MVP. And how about we bring in a little Iowa Hawkeye touch, Jess Settles? Is that all right if we bring in some family genes with you? Is that okay?
It's okay with me. I don't think it's okay to any of the Cyclone fans watching, but that's my first cousin, George Kittle. There's the Purdy jersey. Brock Purdy was just sensational this year, even in the Super Bowl. A couple defensive guys coming at him, or they would have won it. He had to alter his passes. But Patrick Mahomes, you give him those opportunities, he's going to bring it home. Going to go down as one of the greatest of all time. But Purdy to Kittle, it's been fun for everybody in the state of Iowa to watch that connection, and everybody was glued. That was an exhausting loss for the 49ers, but Patrick Mahomes does that to everybody. You need a few minutes on the clock, and he's going to beat you.
Proud day it was for these two universities.
Yes.
Watch those two quarterbacks, proud alum, go toe-to-toe in the biggest and grandest of stages. Texas Tech on defense. This Red Raider program has had success against ranked opponents. Huge win just dismantling Kansas in Lubbock the other night. A little bit of a different story in Ames today on the road. Watson underneath with some space.
Well, that's all TJ Otzelberger using that timeout to draw up that play. You see Watson slip along the baseline, drop it off to him, and TJ knows this team, how good they are, how great they can be, and all of a sudden they are in position to win a Big 12 championship. It starts with defense, but this game once again shows how impressive their offense has been.
Jennings back at the foul line to get the free throws. First one up and in. Texas Tech has been in some precarious situations this year. They have rallied from 3 double-digit deficits to win games. They were down 17 against BYU, rallied to beat Kansas State, down 15 against UNI. So McCaslin's bunch will not give in, and they will continue to battle even though they are short-handed this afternoon. Backdoor cut, 2 in a row for Watson.
A good point to run it on one side that's wide open. You come back on the other side and run it again. Just love to play for coaches who run plays for you to get you going in this game.
Different cyclones have scored. Toussaint curls his way to the right elbow. Gets it right back. Measuring up a 3. It's good. Texas Tech shooting the 3 ball a lot better in the second half. Keep in mind, they started atrociously from that part of the game. Just 1 of 10 in the first half. They've made 6 threes in this second half. Jones on the misfire. Here comes Williams. Darian Williams will give and go with Jennings, and he gets the bounce.
Williams is such a great passer. He's got middle linebacker toughness. You saw what he did against Kansas. But he's been great with these pocket passes, getting teammates open in this game.
TJ Otzelberger not liking the direction. We talked about the fight, and Texas Tech has sliced it down to 13. Still plenty of time in this one with 4:51 to go.
When we talk about at halftime, Texas Tech was going to have to knock in 3-point shots to get back in this game, and they have done that. You can't go 1 for 10.5 with 10 turnovers and compete. They've settled down. They're moving the ball side to side, making the extra pass. And Iowa State against BYU, if you remember, if you spread them out, if you use proper spacing, those types of teams do bother them.
A couple of games already underway. Houston, who shares the top spot with Iowa State, they lead at 11 first half. Kansas State has had a rough stretch of late, down 2 at home in Manhattan. Later today, BYU's at Stillwater. Kansas tries to bounce back, get healthy against Oklahoma. Cincinnati at UCF, 2 teams currently looking from the outside in. Baylor visits Morgantown. Full day, Big 12 basketball. Texas Tech has made their last 4 shots. They need defensive stops now. McMillan will draw the assignment of Keyshawn Gilbert, who leads all scorers today. Gilbert, Momcilovic, cut off at the right elbow. Tough shot, and he hits it. There's nothing Darian Williams could do differently.
Jennings was so good defensively during that set. He blew up the ball screen, he recovered, and then just get hit late in the clock with that mid-range jumper. That really hurts.
Trying to free up Walton. McMillan bounces off to contact and kisses it softly off the window.
Iowa State, a no middle drive team, so they're going to ice those ball screens. They're going to shove you towards the sideline and the baseline. You have to take advantage of it. Great job pulling up, knocking the baseline jumper off the glass. You can't get all the way into the rim against this Cyclone defense.
Texas Tech's going to take a few more chances. They'll look to gamble, trap, especially the sides. Ward off the pick and roll. Shot was partially tipped. Last touch by Iowa State. Good help out there by Darian Williams, who has another double-double. 10 points, 10 rebounds.
Look, he's a guy late in games who can really hurt your defense, but he also will make the extra pass. The nights when he's not feeling it, he will give it up. 6 of 14, 8 boards. Are you kidding me? 17 points, 5 assists. And how about no turnovers? He's an extremely underrated player. When you play for TJ Otzelberger, you have to buy in defensively. We can't say enough about his defense in this game as well. He's been a star.
Otzelberger talked a lot about his mental approach and how much he's improved in that area. Does not hang on to bad plays, quick memory. Has spent a ton of time this season watching film, studying reads, and really trying to find those spaces you were talking about where he can attack downhill.
So many guys can't feel the pick and roll, and he's very good when the ball is in his hand. He's constantly surveying the action. Do they hedge me? Are they blitzing me? Are they icing me along the side? Do I need to get rid of it right away? As a power forward and a center, you want that point guard like Gilbert to be able to make the right decision, because that's so much of what college basketball is right now. It's pick and rolls and then rotations, and how to read those rotations to find the weaknesses. I don't know what we have going on here. I think he's going over to put his order in at Hickory Park for after the game. He's
some barbecue,
some brisket,
cooking,
some chicken. I'm going to have to use your name to get a table there, because there's no way we can fight through all these Hilton Magic people to get in there for 3 hours after the game.
The beauty of an 11 a.m. tip. Plenty of time to have some good lunch. Plenty of locations around this area. McMillan dives into the lane, leaves it for Jennings underneath. And Robert Jennings and Texas Tech. This is as close as they've come in quite a while. Down 11. Trying to shake off the Hilton Magic that Iowa State has had. 13-0 this year. Perfect mark. They've won 14 straight inside this Palace. Rob Jones high off the window.
Well, this is a different Rob Jones. I mean, this is good defense by Jennings. He's been good the last couple of possessions. And Rob Jones, look, if he's going to be able to take that hit, get his head up and kiss it off the glass like that, there's nothing you can do. Holy smoke. What shot.
Give Walton the assist with a good, hard-nosed Big 12 screen, and then what a shot. Off-balance contact, shredding it off, and a chance for the three-point play.
I just love the physicality of this league. You're going to have to take hits. If you can't take hits, go play in a different conference. Jones comes in, swats down. Anytime you swat down, whether it's ball or not, they're going to call that. Joe T, he's had some big moments in this gym.
Down to 10, Toussaint. Trying to pressure the ball with Lipsy. And look at the takeaway. Toussaint steals it away from Lipsy on the other end. And he has it stripped. Texas Tech wanting the call. You were talking about it. The physical nature of this conference, especially down the stretch of the game.
I thought Joe had an easy one. I don't know if he lost it on the way up or what happened.
This opportunity for the Red Raiders.
Yes.
Gilbert accelerates and finishes. Deafening. You can even hardly hear the whistles and a loose ball foul on Iowa State.
Well, Keyshawn Gilbert has been sensational in this game, making all the right reads. Here's the ball screen. He attacks, takes the hit, uses the English, takes it off the glass, coming right into your living room. He's been unstoppable.
Foul on Curtis Jones, his third. 2 free throws for Darian Williams. Everybody on their feet inside Hilton Coliseum. Back to within 10. Texas Tech will extend the pressure. Williams looking for that quick trap. Lipsy, center of the court, up ahead to Curtis Jones. Jones wisely slows it up, being chased and pursued. And the foul on the Red Raiders. They have some fouls to give. That's just their 5th team foul.
I thought that was a great strategy by Coach McCaslin. Play it out for a little bit. You got fouls to get. Try to come up with the big steal.
next foul will have Iowa State shooting a 1-on-1. Williams getting a clip of the wrist of Momcilovic. McCaslin making sure he gets his substitution in. And here comes Pop Isaacs. Williams will take a quick seat. That last foul, his fourth, so they're going to try to protect him.
Iowa State free throw shooting sometimes a problem this year. They're going to have to step up and knock them in. They're going to play this out with 10 to go on the clock.
Big possession here. Lipsey gets a high screen from Jones. Goes between the legs. Peels it off into the corner. Left the shot short. McMillan having trouble controlling the rebound. The officials look at one another and they're going to say, let's keep it right here.
Let's see if he draws any room. Nothing there. Off of Texas Tech. This ball is going to have to be tipped. No, is there 1.5 or 0.5?
Looks like 1.5 on the shot clock.
Something at the rim or a curl and catch and shoot.
Momcilovic.
Good shot.
Robert Jones unable to keep the offensive glass alive, so Texas Tech gets the stop. Exactly a minute to go. Here comes Watson into the Cyclone lineup. Rob Jones to the bench.
A pretty good look for the Cyclones. If you're Iowa State, you want to find Kerwin Walton. And if you're Texas Tech, you want to find him as well, obviously.
How about the fight from Texas Tech on the road in the second half?
I mean, these guys have a tradition. They have an expectation. They're beat up. They're on the road. They're not going anywhere.
Tucson. Walton gets a clean look. Missed it. Rebound. Jennings inside. And he'll toe the foul line for 2 shots.
Robert Jennings. I mean, he's been great defensively. Offensively, just look at the work ethic. Gets position, shoves off a little bit, uses the power dribble, goes right up through the contact. 25. Just an outstanding effort.
Each team continuing to rotate bodies. Texas Tech has it down to single digits. For the first time since the early stages of the first half. 2 clutch free throws by Jennings, now 5 for 7 in the game, and it's an 8-point Iowa State lead. All 12 of Jennings' points coming in this second half. Lipsey forced to burn a timeout. In America's toughest conference, it is so tough to close out a game.
It really is. These teams are so well coached, they're so well scouted. Best players in the country play in this league. Every time you take the court, it's a war. Good job there by Lipsey. You don't want to make the turnover. Use your timeout. That's why you have them late in these games. You're Texas Tech here. You're looking to trap the first pass, and you're hoping that Iowa State will get careless down in Coffin's corner and flip one out of there, and you can pick it off. Otherwise, after the first pass, you're going to have to go for a steal and pick up the foul to stop this clock and force them to hit free throws.
Iowa State will send out their best free throw shooters and ball handlers. Jones, Momcilovic, Gilbert, Lipsey. Trey King, the 5th Cyclone out there. Texas Tech counters with Pop Isaacs, Walton, McMillan, Jennings, and Tucson. We have 8 of the 10 players in a circle around midcourt. Jones sprints to the open space. Here comes that trap you were talking about. They get it up ahead, and a smart foul there by Jennings because Trey King was all by his lonesome just begging for one more pass.
I've never seen that inbounds before. TJ Altsberger going with the merry-go-round action at half court. Guys just going in the circle, and then they break off from that. I really like that. Good job by Texas Tech to make the trap, force one pass, then reach in, try to get a steal and a foul. Good coaching by both teams.
Gilbert 73% from the foul line this year. The 1-and-1, and the candle stays lit for Texas Tech. Open 3, Pop Isaacs cannot hit it, and a foul there for the Red Raiders. Toussaint It's a good look, Jess. They get it to their top scorer, Isaacs, who's just had a tough day shooting the ball, now 0 for 7 from beyond the arc.
Yeah, that's becoming a problem, right? Those are the shots you have to knock in. 4 for his last 18 coming into this one. Now you add 0 for 7 on top of that. It's just a great possession, wide open look from the corner. He's got to get in the film room, get in the gym, find his rhythm. Those are too valuable and too hard to come by against the Cyclones to not make them pay for that.
Lipsy splashes in 2. Iowa State back up 10. As we hit 30 seconds to go in a critical first versus second place matchup in the Big 12. Quick timeout by McCaslin and the Red Raiders. 28 seconds to go. Iowa State with the 8-point lead. These two teams up near the top. It's a log jam when you look at the Big 12. Iowa State, Houston starting the day. A game up on several Big 12 teams, including Texas Tech. And now for the Cyclones, it comes down to execution, making their free throws, and they could possibly head into a colossal showdown on Big Monday with Houston.
Well, the entire country will be tuning in for that one. Right now, they're trying to take care of business. These guys don't care about net rankings, seedings. They want to win this game, and they want to win the Big 12 championship. They're taking away the three-point shot, so good job by Pops to counter it. Don't force a tough one. Get to the rim. Stop the clock while you're scoring. Let's see if Iowa State comes out again in that merry-go-round setup where they've got 4 guys at half court. They just walk in a circle, and then they explode to the basketball. They're going to have their top free throw shooters and ball handlers on the court. Well, you might have to foul right away if you're Texas Tech. You want to trap one of them. If they're not in trouble, you hit them right away. Make this a free throw competition.
These fans, these students showed up a good hour before tip-off, an early start today here at Iowa State. They have had to sweat it out over the final few moments of this one. As the Cyclones look to stay unbeaten at home this year at Hilton Coliseum. Different look on this inbound. They spread everyone out along the baseline. They send a couple of streakers down court. One of them is Gilbert. Makes the catch. Looked like a Brock Purdy lead pass that time, right over the top. And he will lay it in. And that should seal it for Iowa State. Toussaint working his magic, using his quickness to go right by Trey King.
Well, they went the Brock Purdy set on the last one where they line everybody up at the offensive line and they send 2 guys deep and then they scatter after that. But Joe Toussaint made a critical mistake there. Gilbert takes the ball. He's expecting to get fouled. Toussaint leaves the basketball. And we talked about Gilbert's basketball IQ. He just keeps going to the rim and gets a wide open layup. Now, it's tough when you're down like Toussaint was, but you never leave the basketball. Great job by TJ Oxford to mix up these inbound plays. It's been really easy. They haven't had any problems with it. So many teams struggle late in these games to get the ball in under pressure.
22 today for Gilbert. That's the 7th time that he has surpassed the 20-point mark in a game this year.
How good is Iowa State?
So balanced, so dangerous defensively. And with Otzelberger and his day-by-day approach, the mindset, very dangerous, to answer your question. Final few moments, Toussaint ushers up a 3, and he drops it straight through. Back down court, it's Gilbert. Isaacs forced to foul with 7 seconds to go. As we both prepared for this game, the way these two coaches approach their teams so similar, and you really get the impression watching them on film and in person, they really play for one another. And McCaslin has talked about that with Texas Tech. You know, they had that bump in the road. They lost 3 straight games after that 16-3 start. there was never any panic. And the same could be said for Iowa State. Cyclones just enjoy playing for one another.